So all of you by now have done the little exercise I had you do where you're looking at things from the book, and then I allowed you to use AI to come up to like generate a report or an outline for whatever research you were doing that particular week. So I want to kind of go over AI. Like, I think it's a great tool to use. I think you should start all of your research there just to kind of get your creative juices flowing and to kind of help you figure out where to go if you have no idea what to look for or where to look for sources. But I do want to warn you about a couple of things. You can't always trust AI for historical research. And yeah, it is valuable because it can very, very quickly access these huge data banks for you and pull information that you're looking for. It doesn't evaluate the sources. It doesn't find if they're credible or if they're true. And sometimes it may even make up sources. And that's been proven over and over. You can Google that search yourself, like how many, like, give me an example of when AI made up something. So, and kind of what I want you to look at also is it's AI always takes like the path of least resistance, if you will. And I want to show you. So this is what I did, just kind of looking for sources. And I went through and I checked the sources that they gave, and I actually know a lot of these sources because I've done Salem witch trials for so long. Like, I know that these are all legit sources that they list, the primary sources here. And I know about the secondary sources. You guys even know about this in the U.S. history class. The Crucible, it's a play. It's loosely based on the Salem witch trial. So yeah, you can use it, but I wouldn't use it as 100% factual. This I had it look up and just gave me some more information about that. So I know that these are like real sources, but what I want to show you is I started doing like some research on like my family. And one of the things that I looked at was, I know for a fact that both my grandfathers served in World War II. They were both in the Navy. And I know that the one here, yes, his first name really was Pink, like the color. I know that my grandfather, Pink, I know that he was stationed in Japan, and I know that he was transferred to a ship mid-ocean that had been hit by a kamikaze pilot because he was a radio man, he was a radio operator, he was doing Morse code. I know all this information about him because we have it, because those are the stories that he told, and we have the historical documentation to prove all of this. So I asked it to look up my grandfather, and it was like I couldn't find any information. I was like, well, I know that he served because I have pictures and medals from when he served. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just take out his middle name. Maybe he was just under Pinksmeyer's. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, like here are his muster rolls. Here's like stuff that's been done. This is my uncle who's passed away. He did a lot of the research on our family because he's really into that. So then I just started asking it different questions. I even like purposely spelled the name wrong. And it came back, and you can see it's giving me different information every time. Like, I'm trying to get more specific, and it's really not giving me specific details like I want. Tells me his birthday, when he was born, leaves out my aunt and my mom completely. And we're all listed on Ancestry.com. This is true. But you can just see like it's not 100% reliable. And I'm going to show you another example of another researcher who used it, who ran into problems as well. So this is John Norton, and John Norton kind of did the same thing that I was doing. He is using ChatGPT for some help because he's looking for his uncle and his role as an Army officer. And so he requested 20 sources, came back and it quickly listed out these 20, and then in each instance, he's like, okay, like those 20 sources, like where can I find this first one? Because he searched and couldn't find it. So then he just went back to ChatGPT and asked, like, where did you find that? Or where can I find it? The Invisible War. And ChatGPT comes back and says, seems like I made an error in my earlier response and there's no such book. So you just made up a source. So that's what you have to be careful when using ChatGPT. Is it a good place to start? Yes. Is it 100% reliable? No. Should you only use that? No. Will you get caught if you use AI submitting essays in this class or as you continue on in your college and university career? 99% of the time, yeah, you're going to get caught because our intelligence is so good that it will pick up when it's been written by AI. So those are the things I just want you to be cautious about, especially as we're moving into this next little essay exercise that you're going to do for me. Be sure you answer the questions for this little quiz so you get more bonus points.